I love the Mahjong Quest series. I've spent more of my life being a fan of it than I haven't. Of all the games I used to play, this one easily has the most replay value. But even then I craved to revisit these games in a more refreshing way. And in comes an idea I've had for quite a while. Every time I play through the game, a particular level jumps out to me as being completely nullified by the use of power-up tiles. This always made me think, was this intended? Just about any level with power-ups could be cheesed. But today we are going to try to forego power-ups altogether to see just how much harder the game is without them, and see if it's possible. It's not. Get this from someone who's played through this game countless times. I can think up of several instances where you are forced to use power-ups. But nevertheless, let's lay out the rules, shall we? 1. I am not allowed to interact with any tile that behaves unlike a regular tile. Obviously excluding the yin and yang tiles you have to match to win a level. 2. If I get into a situation where a power use is required, I am allowed to experiment with different outcomes. And the power-ups I use only get added to the counter once the level finishes. 3. In the case of a timeout, I am never allowed to reshuffle the board. This is to avoid me being able to lose on purpose to get a better layout that could save power uses, because that would quite frankly be boring. And that's about it, really. Now, it's time to answer the question. How many power-ups does it take to beat Mahjong Quest? The village plays exactly like usual. It's the tutorial stage with no power-ups. The challenge truly starts in the south wind, where our first gimmick is introduced. 2-1. Bricky situation is perfectly fine. The bricks it showcases are just kinda there without firecrackers to get rid of them. Speak of the devil. 2-2. Explosive situation introduces firecrackers, which are kind of just a tool the game twists your hand into using. Oh yeah. Whenever a power-up gets introduced, I will rank it so you can see exactly what I'm missing out on. While they don't quite work like a conventional power-up, firecrackers still fit the criteria, so I will have to pass. Unfortunately, the level won't let me pass. Off the bat, there are 2 firecrackers I have to use to even get to the yin and yang. And if that's not already bad enough, I don't have access to the necessary tiles to clear the level even with the 2 firecrackers. Meaning I have to use a third. I can't believe I got humbled by the first proper level of the challenge. I suddenly have a very bad feeling about this. 2-3. Brick conservation is comparatively a cakewalk. The firecrackers are totally optional and all they do is speed things up. 2-4. Bricks of change is diabolical. The firecrackers here look like they're out of the way, but there are some tiles in the middle that are surrounded by bricks. And guess what? I had to use 2 of them to get to the tiles necessary to complete the level. How dare this level instill a false sense of security on me? 2-5. Fun with bricks is much like the level right before the last one. The only purpose the firecrackers serve is to make things more comfortable and are therefore no threat at all. The spring stage introduces magnets, which are a very strong power-up you can use to attract visible tiles. But I shall reject such a luxury. 3-1. Magnetic trade winds looks like a very fun time, until you clear the tiles and see this depressing sight. God dang it, game. How dare you teach me how to use your newest mechanic? It's safe to say that we're not getting past this without using a magnet. 3-2. Magnetic touch has magnets in the way of our win condition. So it's clear that I can't pass this level without using at least 1. Thankfully, 1 is all you need. 3-3. An old favorite is basically the default Mahjong layout, but with 2 magnets to help you out. They are thankfully completely optional and we can beat the level as if they weren't there. 3-4. Magnetic wisdom is, in case you forgot, the The whole reason I'm even doing this, and I'm pleased to report that it's not possible. Look, I tried my absolute hardest, okay. But I had to get that N out the way, only to get stuck again and have to use another magnet on this 5. I guess cheesing the level was the intended solution after all. 3-5. All American Bricked Eagle seems like a total nightmare. Like, magnets and firecrackers. Are you serious? A power use is definitely mandatory because there are bricks blocking the yin and yang. And for the longest time I thought this level would require 3. I was eventually able to knock that down to just using the 2 magnets. And I personally don't think you can do better than that. The East Wind is home to the absolute most broken power-up in this game. The Typhoon, which removes all instances of a tile of your choice. I'm at a major disadvantage here. 4-1. Typhoon Helper already requires the 2 typhoons blocking the yin and yang to be used. But the large, inaccessible batch of tiles in the middle really makes you think about every match you make. Ultimately, I had to use another one to win because nothing was lining up like I had wanted. 4-2. Typhoons of Doom has, you guessed it, more typhoons blocking the way. And it also has, you guessed it, another batch of inaccessible tiles. I feel like I used the 2 typhoons I had to clear out perfectly. But I still was 1 peacock short from winning, so I just gave up and moved on. 4-3. Thunderdome basically plays out the same way it would if this challenge didn't apply at all. Because it's literally impossible to get anything done and there are typhoons blocking the way. Anyway, so you might as well use 3 to cheese the level like sane people would do. 4-4. No escape seems like a cakewalk. I mean, as long as we don't need the tiles that the typhoons in the middle are blocking, we should be golden, right? Yeah, we need one of the tile that the typhoons are blocking. Ugh. On the bright side, I accidentally made the perfect play here and only ended up needing 1 to win the whole level. 4-5. Courtyard Restoration looks extremely unforgiving, with bricks and typhoons blocking valuable tiles. I was forced to use 2 typhoons to clear out the tiles next to the yin and yang because it was impossible to clear them normally without firecrackers. The summer stage is themed around swappers, which are a pretty okay power-up, but are extremely difficult to use efficiently, meaning that if the next few levels require them, then I might end up using more than necessary. 5-1. Meet the Swappers is where the game devs decided to do something really hysterical. Just when I thought I was about to win, one of the last tiles I had to clear was a 2, and the only other 2 was blocked by a swapper. Really sly, game. I must admit, my pride is quite wounded. 5-2. The 3 towers is no pushover either. The swappers here really got in the way. And even though I can access the tiles from the other side, it was costly and I mostly got to a bunch of dead ends anyway. I ended up with 3 swappers used. Am I confident that's the minimum? Well, yes and no, take your pick. 5-3. Intersection makes me want to cry. I know it's possible. It has to be possible. I just couldn't manage to get through without needing the help of a swapper. But I tried everything. 5-4. Information is meant to be a difficult level where every last tile matters. And you are given 4 swappers in case you screw it up. Emphasis on, in case you screw it up, because that means they are not required. After 12 levels we finally have a possible one. 5-5. Altogether now is this challenge's worst nightmare. Everything I've encountered up until this point is here. I obviously had to use the 2 firecrackers to gain access to the tiles in the middle. And if that's not bad enough, I had to use the magnet they gave me to make progress on the center formation. But wait, it doesn't end there. I also had to use a swapper because it was blocking a tile I needed. Oh, and I'm still not done. The typhoon just so happened to be sitting on the last tile I needed. That's the most power-ups I've had to use in a single level so far. Why does this game hate me? The North Wind's stages revolve around the copy tiles, which can be very strong if used right. They work very well in conjunction with other powers, but we don't do that here. 6-1. The Brotherhood is an introductory level at its finest. It's designed in such a way that you won't get far without the copy tiles. I know for a fact that you need at least 2 copy tiles to get very close to the end. But try as I might, I couldn't win with only 2. And believe me, I've tried. I've spent 15 minutes on this level alone, which is more than a quarter of the time I've spent on all 5 levels of this stage combined. I actually timed out once. 6-2. Balanced Brotherhood is basically the same story. Every time I think I might have it, something comes up and tries to entice me into using that 3rd copy tile. You wanna know something, game? You're absolutely right, I don't think you can do it with less than 3. Next level. 6-3. Brotherhood of Silence is the confidence boost I needed to get back into it. Because it's almost completely possible power UP less. If it weren't for the fact that there are 2 copy tiles blocking valuable tiles. I figured the left one is better to use up because the right one had 2 7s under it, which wouldn't amount to much, and that was all I needed. 6-4. Brotherhood of Typhoons is so very close to being possible. But those pesky tiles hugged by 2 typhoons strike again and I'm forced to use 1 to get past it. You know, as bad as some levels were, I don't think we're doing too bad. Especially looking at these last 2 levels, and oh wait, I forgot this level excised. 6-5. Halfway Point is a heart attack inducing monstrosity that must be purged from existence right now. You honestly can't look at this and tell me it's somehow possible to do without any of the 20 power-ups they give you. What are you looking at me like that for? Of course I counted. Obviously, our win condition is the magnet and/or typhoon, because they're the only things that can clear the tiles right next to the yin and yang. But to sour things even more, they are blocked by swappers and copy tiles respectively, meaning I'm forced to use them first. The solution is rather simple, though. Use the copy tiles to make the level possible with just 2 typhoons. It's still 5 power-ups, but it is what it is. The Autumn Stages levels make it so you have to match 3 tiles instead of 2. Which is not a power-up, as you might be able to tell. This means I get a bit of a breather. 7-1. 3 on a match and 7-2. Canals are both power-up free. 7-3. King Tut does have a typhoon, but it's completely optional. And to round things out, 7-4. Obstacle Course and 7-5. Dragon's Claw are totally free. But I mean, let's face it. You didn't come here to watch me have fun. And the West Wind is home to the most grueling levels I've ever had to play that put everything I've ever dealt with to shame. All because it introduces a whopping 3 new power-ups that are meant to be used in conjunction with each other. This makes them kind of garbage in normal play. But that's not gonna stop the game from forcing me to use them. 8-1. Magic numbers is a rough way to start. I was very determined to beat it using only 3 mandatory power-ups to get to the yin and yang. But I guess I was too determined because I didn't notice the timer run down and I got jump scared by the sound that plays when you time out. And I guess I was in such a state of shock that I accidentally hit yes when I was prompted to shuffle the board upon restarting, breaking rule 3 and making me look like a cheater. Alright, look, I'm not doing this again. Doing this challenge up until this point has taken me longer than it would to play the whole game, start to finish normally, and I've got better things to do than this, so I opted to roll with it. I was able to beat the level with 3 power uses. And I'm sure the original layout would have been possible with 3 power-ups too. I hope. 8-2. I Ching Abacus can go drown for all I care. I was already forced to use 6 power-ups because they were in the way. But no matter how I used them, something always just didn't line up. All because the top part of the level was basically dead since I couldn't get rid of that season. Ultimately, I had to use an extra up arrow. Was it necessary? Probably not. But I guess that's what I deserve for cheating. 8-3. A Mess of Troubles truly lives up to that name. The level itself is actually very simple, but I had to use a firecracker and a typhoon because they are blocking the way. 8-4. Rules of Attraction is basically the continuation to 8-2. The entire left side was blocked by a red dragon I couldn't remove, and I was forced to scrape by, with just the right. This ordeal amounted to me having to use 1 up arrow, 2 down arrows and 3 magnets. 3. Again, this could be optimized, but I'm not as convinced here. Have I paid my dues for accidentally cheating yet? 8-5. Fortress of Doom is one I've been dreading because you are not given much to work with. But surprisingly, I was able to clear it quickly without any power-ups. Finally, we are at the home stretch now. No more new power-ups are going to be introduced, and the game will focus more on boards that don't feature any, because they would be harder to the average player, meaning the bulk of the work is now behind us. Nowhere is this better seen than in the winter stage, where every stage lacks power-ups. Well, except for 9-4. Hide and go seek, but that one is easy to do power UP less. The base camp revolves around testing your skills with every power-up you've encountered, meaning this is the last hurdle in my way to completing this challenge. 10-1. Colosseum made me want to pull my hair out. No matter how I used the mandatory typhoon and magnet, there was always something that didn't work out. Even after using another magnet, victory was still just out of my reach. In the end, I had to settle for a 3rd magnet use, but this is surely not a good way to start. 10-2. Monument to Genius is another one of those levels that forces you to use every tile available efficiently. They give you 2 typhoons in case you get stuck, but those are for the weak. 10-3. Quartz's Moto is unique in that it actually forces you to work for the power-ups. They're not required, mind you, but I felt like pointing that out. 10-4. Need some help? With a name like that, I already know the game is mocking me for going down this path. You might think that I have to use this swapper to get to the Yang tile, adding another power to our counter, and you'd be right. However, the swapper doesn't guarantee a win, and I might need to use another power-up in case it doesn't. But you know what does? A typhoon. Yep. Why go the long way if I can just do this? It's still 1 added to the counter, because I am a firm believer that all power-ups are made equal. 10-5. Double Trouble is probably the closest a level has been to playing out the same way as the average player would. Because I cannot for the life of me understand how you could beat this level without cheesing it with the typhoons. There is a level pretty much just like this one without the typhoons, but it does not play the same way at all. Even if you tried to go about it the same way as that one, you will run out of available tiles and you will have to use the typhoons strategically planted in the corners. 6 typhoons it is. Much like Winter, the Mountain Pass only has 1 level that features power-ups, that being 11-3. Abandoned Building, with 2 typhoons. It's easy to just ignore their existence as the level is very small and simple to navigate. And that is the last level with power-ups in this game. The remaining 7 are meant to be difficult and skill-based, but they are the same as in normal play. I know that's a rather anticlimactic way to finish this challenge, but blame the level designers for that. Of the 37 levels that feature power-ups, only 9 were possible. Yikes. And with that, Our grand total of power-ups used in this challenge is an unflatteringly high 75. Most of which being typhoons because of course. I'm sure this number can be lowered at least a little. But to tell you the truth, I'm feeling a little burnt out on this challenge, and I think that the inflated total serves me right for accidentally cheating. Feel free to try this challenge out yourself, because I believe that the tile layouts before reshuffling are hard-coded and therefore the same for everyone. I might eventually come back to the levels I think I used too many power-ups on. But that won't be for a while. So what did we learn? Well, that you shouldn't feel bad for cheesing a video game because the alternative is usually much worse. I guess I'll see you when I decide to do Mahjong Quest 2, which should hopefully be easier.